Buenos dias. Soy justo Professor Justin Wittrell from Bergecco-Parc Consulting Incorporated. Muy español, o sí o sí. Si hablo muy poquito español, so my presentation will be in English. I'm sorry to my partners. I'd like to present today the tourism project for the Bergen Museum and for the South Presbyterian Church in Bergenfield, New Jersey, promoting the tourism in the wonderful town of Bergenfield, New Jersey. I'd like to welcome people from the board and the volunteers from the Bergenfield Museum and our representative from the Bergenfield government for coming today. We really appreciate it. We hope we make you very proud. We'd like to hold all questions until the end of the presentation, and I hope you enjoy our production. And I will leave this up to our president, Roy, and our senior vice president, Valentina. Folks, corporate is wish you the best of luck and good luck in the presentation today. It's up to you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'd like to say thank you to all the members and volunteers at the Bergenfield Museum for being here today. And of course, thank you so much, AJ, for taking the time out of your day to be here. Truly means a lot. So, without further ado, Senior Vice President of Operations.
Hello everyone, my name is Valentina Siva and I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations. Like Rose said, I appreciate all of you being here today.
Alright, so before we dive into any other groups, I just want to go a little bit over our corporate headquarters. So it's located in Ridge West Business Park in Oradell. So it's not too far from here, very close from here. And what makes it super convenient as a satellite office from us is a 10-minute drive from Garden State Park within a walking distance of 2 trains and located directly across a bus stop. So for members that do not have a car or car breaks down, this is ideal for all of us. So as you can see here, the inside, this is our corporate offices where all 3 executive members can be. That's how it would look like. Those are the 3 offices. They're still vacant. And to get to the 3rd floor, we would take the elevator. So the cost, for the sake of time, I'm just going to highlight some key points. So after going over the annual rent, as well as quarter lease, utilities, property taxes, CAM charges, and the total rent, everything's going to come out to about $31,483 US dollars.
Good morning everyone. Today we'll be talking to you about our corporate party that we organized to thank all of you for your hard work on this project. And I will be doing it in Spanish. So, buenos días a todos, mi nombre es Valentina Alcibar y hoy día les voy a hablar sobre la fiesta corporativa que organizamos para agradecerles a todos ustedes por su gran esfuerzo en este proyecto. So, para empezar, este es el lugar, es una sala de eventos en Tenafly, es muy bonita y puede acomodarnos a todos ustedes más a un plus one que ustedes deseen traer a la fiesta. Este sería el menú, va a ser traído por Manager Caterers y bueno, va a tener como una variedad de carnes, va a tener diferentes tipos de arroces, ensaladas y va a haber como una opción vegetariana por si es lo que ustedes prefieren y también como postres con frutas para que lo puedan disfrutar después del plato fuerte. Como entretenimiento tenemos a un trío musical de jazz para que todos ustedes puedan gozar mientras comen o charlan entre ustedes, disfruten de un poco de música. Y estos son todos los detalles. Y bueno, finalmente, para agradecerles a ustedes y que recuerden este hermoso proyecto que tenemos aquí un planner para el 2025 y una tacita de café con el logotipo de la compañía para que pues la recuerden por siempre. Sí. Y bueno, finalmente, esta es la invitación que todos ustedes van a recibir. Recuerden que pueden traer un plus one, está en inglés y en español, como pueden ver. Tiene todos los detalles, la hora, el lugar y también pues la comida. Y bueno, el costo total de la fiesta sería de $11,530. Y bueno, eso sería todo por mi parte. Muchas gracias por su atención.
All right, if Vice President Roman Stupnicki, team 1 can come up.
Thank you so much. My name is Roman Stubnicki. I am the vice president of the team.
Xavier Savinsky.
My name is Edgemon Castillo, and I'm the translator.
My name is Joel Refreya. I'm going to be talking Spanish. Peter Ezequides.
Tom Swiker.
And thank you so much to the Bergen Field Museum team, volunteers, board members, and the governmental representative of Bergen County for coming, as well as students and Professor Wattrell, as well as VP and Vice President for everything. And this is our presentation, our marketing presentation for the Bergen Field Museum, Cooper's Pond, and the Graveyard. Next slide, please. Our first point.
So, the website is a very key part into promoting the museum. One, it holds general information about the museum so people are aware of the museum before they come. And it also has information of when the museum is open and it will be closed. Establishing a social media presence will be very beneficial for this museum, not only to continue to promote to the current age demographic that you are currently promoting to, but to a much younger age demographic.
La importancia de poder incluir otras culturas en el museo es muy importante, así podamos llegar a gran comunidad de diferentes en Bergenfield.
I'm translating for Joel, and that's what he said is expanding diversity in Bergenfield Museum is very important because it lets us reach different cultural priorities and histories.
While there are many reasons to bring volunteers to the museum, we have come up with 3 main reasons why we should do so. Reason number 1 is by bringing volunteers, we can expand opening hours of the museum and make it more accessible to those who currently cannot visit. Reason number 2 is that volunteers can help with the physical waiver of the museum, such as decorating for holidays or hosting events. Reason number 3 is that by bringing multilingual volunteers, we can help with the diversity of the museum and make it more accessible to those who do not speak English well.
Thank you so much, team. With all these being said, these are all our list of proposals that we can activate and almost as goals to improve the museum, get more people, establish a social media presence, and expand our volunteers and as well as visitors. Next slide, please. And you might be asking yourself, these goals are fantastic and good to achieve, but how can we get the resources or the assets to achieve them? This leads into our next slide, our solutions.
So, Mrs. Garcia is the president of the Graphic Design Club. She can design the website so it's more appealing to people. And Professor Carol A. Moon is a professor here at Bergen Community College. She can curate and design the website for you, and she could also include it into her classroom so it gets updated when you guys would like it. And she also, our group has a personal relationship with her.
Dr. Carol Moon was one of my professors in one of my past semesters. She was a great professor that helped me understand websites and computing in general and would benefit all you guys and upgrading the Bergenfield Museum's website.
And just to add to him as well, as a newer collaboration with our class, why limit the collaboration with Bergen Community College here? Why not expand to other classes that could potentially help you, just like Edgemol did in his class as well? Peter?
So we have Professor Schmidt, who's here at Bergen and teaches digital photography, who can help with updating different pictures on the website and can also post different pictures to all the different social media outlets we have. And then we also have Professor Hemstreet, who teaches videography and editing here. I actually had Professor Hemstreet a couple semesters ago, and I can tell you, after taking his mass media communications class, I can tell you he knows everything there is about social media and how to target each different age demographic and each different crowd. Through taking his class, we took multiple advertising campaigns and we learned how to target these different age demographics.
Next slide, please.
Bringing culturally diverse visitors is very important to the Bergenfield Museum, and there's 2 people that can help you a lot with that. April Harrison, the Multicultural Service Director, and Elisha Phillips, the Assistant Director. Elisha Phillips, a good friend of mine, is also very well versed with the clubs around Bergen that would help you translate with tours and just in general help you guys reach a bigger and more cultural community.
To bring volunteers to the museum, we have reached out to the local Bergenfield High School and talked to Robert Bergecco. By bringing in high school volunteers to the museum, they will bring a new perspective to the museum and help make it more accessible and more open to be visited by the younger demographic. In addition, we also have Mr. Michael Moore, who my teammate Roman will speak more on.
Thank you so much. So Barry, I remember we talked about some of the physical labor help that you needed during hours of operation or anything around the museum. My professor, my old teacher in the high school of Bergen-Paramus, we did construction building trades, so construction, we did plumbing, electrical, masonry work, and I actually called them and they're willing to set aside some days so they can send some workers over there and they can help achieve whatever you want. So I just wanted to add that there as well. So
Hired.
Absolutely. So can you please, this wraps up our solutions for our proposals. Can you please turn to the next slide, please? So in addition to the social media plan, we actually went out of our way. Some of my team members talked to some of the tour guides relating to the actual Instagram page, and we created not a mock-up, not a digital recreation, but an actual Instagram page representing the museum and the videos in it. And we have able to surpass almost 5,000 views on Instagram and still counting, and also engaging up to 3,500 accounts too. So this is an example of how you guys can reach out more people, potential visitors, potential collaborators, and people who might be interested in the museum in general. The other slide is actually a video of Joan talking about the war room, if we can play that as an example. And you can kind of use this as a template of what to post on the social media once we pass the torch on to you. Enjoy. Is there audio?
And this is the Bergen Museum. This is our military room. This particular display is about World War II. This gentleman here, Mr. Ray, was actually on the ship when the Japanese surrendered to the United States. And he was able to take those papers back to Washington, D.C. And this kind of reminds me, because this is just after the atom bombs were dropped in Japan. And my father was stationed in Nagasaki after the war. And I can remember as a child looking at pictures of the devastation. And he was a peacekeeper there.
Fantastic. Natural on camera. Amazing. So again, an example of what you guys can show off in the actual Instagram's museum. Little small highlights, quick couple second intermediate stuff to gain the attention of the viewer and retain them from actually partaking in the lovely experience that you have there in the museum. Next slide, please. So this is our Halloween fundraiser budget that was proposed by some of my teammates that can talk about. Peter, please.
So me and my team members, we devised a budget for the Halloween fundraiser. So it ranges from Halloween decorations to all different types of refreshments. The best thing about the Halloween decorations is that they're just a one-time cost. Once you get them, you can continue to reuse them year in and year out. Next slide. So some of the refreshments that I've chose is from Demarest Farms themselves. So I thought it would be a good idea to keep it within the local farms around here. I actually went there just to check out the price and everything. Very affordable, very delicious stuff there. So Demarest Farms, hot chocolate, ranging from different types of drinks, got cookies, and our total budget to this project was a little bit over $1,300.
Next slide. And now the few next slides are going to be representative of the commercials for both the museum, the Cooper's Pond, as well as the graveyard, and the walking tours that we have there to show people around as well. These correspond with the scripts that I handed you out, and very last we have the children's walking tour for the museum that is also correspondent to the pamphlet that I just gave you as well. If you can please play it and enjoy.
The church in the distance, and there's Franklin Grammar School. But during the Depression, FDR original Marshall, there's one had an original cane. Floor cement. Of course, we have all sorts of tools.
Fantastic. So again, that was for the museum as well. As you can see, more shout outs to you guys, doing as we do, interviewing us and stuff and showing us around, highlighting the important parts and also the artifacts that you have there. Next slide, please. So then this is for the Cooper's Pond. Oh, sorry, before you play that. And also to mention, for YouTube purposes and also copyright purposes, I was able to get a hold of royalty-free music via a website that I use for a domain. So all the music here is not going to have any issues if you're worrying about posting online or whatnot. So that's just one thing to keep in mind is all the sound and music in the background is okay and a free right to use. Continue playing, sorry. Fantastic. Of course, being the Cooper's Pond, and then the following video, I'm sure, is the graveyard commercial as well. Fantastic. And now the next 3 videos are actually going to be the walking tour. So it's going to be more in detailed description of all the 3 places that I just previously described. Please.
Hi, today I'm at the Old South Presbyterian Church in Bergen, New Jersey, and it was founded in 1723. Behind me is not the original building. The original church was located by those headstones over there and was burnt down multiple times. This is where the original church stood. In its place, the Demers came. The Demers family traced their origins back to France, where they arrived here in the late 1600s. In 1677, they traded with the Lenape Indians for land in Bergen County. Shortly after they purchased the land, they founded a town called Strahlenberg, where for over a century, all residents were related to the Demers family, where they held high-position jobs such as politicians and lawyers. Below me is John Henry, who was the principal founder of Queens College, which is now Rutgers. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I hope you come back and visit.
Fantastic. And the next one, being Cooper's Pond. Oh, that's me.
Welcome to the walking tour of Cooper's Pond, located here at Bergen. So before this pond looked as lovely as it is today, in 1930 it was actually a swamp. And up until that day, a WPA program, which was instilled by Roosevelt, the president at the time, during the Great Depression to boost the economy by getting people to work again. And one of those projects was this lovely lake you see here. When the water freezes over in this pond, this beautiful pond right here, people actually tend to do ice skating. And back in the day, that house over there that you can see in the background was actually like a warming cabin. So people who wanted to put on their skates, warm up, and get dressed before going out on the ice. And when walking here on the path into this pond, another cool, interesting spot that we have here is actually the Bergen Museum that you can go to attend to learn some phenomenal histories about the local area here. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Cooper's Pond walking tour. Please come again, and maybe on your own time have some fun. Take care.
And then finally, the children's walking tour for the museum.
Hi guys, my name is Joel Freyo. Welcome to the Bergen Museum. And my name is William. Kids, do you know what is this? No! This is a phonograph. This is how people used to play music. Hey kids, how does your family cook dinner? Stove? Stove. The microwave? The microwave. Well, back in the day, they used to use a fireplace. Fire. Kids, and this is a silent piano. Kids, from where did you get all your clothes? And back in the days, they used to use this machine, the sewing machine. Sewing machine.
So yeah, the video was definitely inspired by more child-friendly content that me and my team have researched extensively to gauge the the viewers, to gauge the children and to make sure we have their time span, and also eventually be excited for the different types of artifacts that we have in the museum. And of course, those artifacts that we did mention are in the pamphlets, as you see, which is kind of like a read-along that they can do during the tour, of course. But this concludes our first team's proposals. Thank you guys so much for everything, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you so much, Team 1, for those amazing ideas and for those wonderful commercials. Now I would like to invite our second team, led by Vice President Natalie Valdez, to please join me in the front.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Natalie Valdez. I'm Vice President of Team 2. Here I have my team. We have Melissa, Randall, Madison, and Jason. For our first slide, we have our logo. Our logo was actually made by Randall. In our logo, we decided to highlight the pond as well as the mill. We definitely wanted to have the focus be the museum itself. Randall will now be demonstrating the logo in Spanish.
Okay. So, yo voy a hablar en español y voy a traducir lo que mi compañera dijo. En el caso del logo que creamos, tratamos de comparar, incluir la casa amarilla y también el meo rojo y el estanque de agua, que se vea igual como el museo que usted tiene, incluyendo el título Bergen Museum.
So earlier I handed out some pamphlets. This is the pamphlet I created. Something interesting that I put on the front is the little slogan, the yellow house next to the red mill. I have a lot of photos and there's a lot of interesting key points as well as the hours and friendly reminders for visitors. I have the logo in English and in Spanish as well. We have our first commercial. Myself and Madison both worked on this commercial. For the commercial, I did the voiceover. I decided to add some historical tidbits in there, but definitely didn't want to give too much so people are enticed to visit.
The next museum you should definitely check out in Bergen County. Today I went to explore the Bergenfield Museum, located in Bergenfield, New Jersey. This mill house was built in 1802. The family that lived here operated a chair factory in the old mill located next to the house. These chairs can still be seen throughout the house. Later on, the mill operated as a toy factory as well. Once more, the house was sold, and the new owner built silent pianos in the mill, one of which can still be found inside the home as well. With so many fun and interesting exhibits, there's definitely something for everyone here. You'll just have to check it out for yourself. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays, 1:30 to 3:30.
So in our commercial, I did include captions in Spanish. That way it can have a large outreach to different communities. For our marketing and social media side, Madison worked on it, so she'll be filming that one.
Hello. So my social media is very important for my name because it's cheap, effective. You can go to the next slide. I made some mock-ups. They're not real accounts, but they can be with enough consistent posting. If you're unfamiliar with how Instagram works, the little circles are highlights where users can find more information, such as like the hours, parking, pamphlets, also something that can be posted as well. As well as all of the commercials are all filmed vertical for short form.
Yeah. Next we have a flyer that Jason made.
So this is one of the flyers I created to be able to advertise the Bergenfield Museum at its hours of operations, visit their website, address, phone number. And I put this photo specifically because I found the military room the most interesting. This is the 9/11 memorial that they have in there. I find it interesting that how Bergenfield residents had such a big impact in the wars, from the Revolutionary War to the Vietnam War. Thank you.
So the next slide is the Children's Walking Tour pamphlet. This pamphlet is more of an advertisement of what the walking tour has to offer. I did also hand that one out. We have highlights of different activities and things to expect when visiting the museum. This is also a program that I made, like a flyer. This can be posted around at local businesses to advertise the tour for parents that are maybe looking for something fun to do with their kids. For the children's walking tour, so the target audience is probably maybe 6 to 12-year-olds. The duration of the tour could be anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Something to definitely engage kids would be a scavenger hunt. So here I have a sheet that I made when I toured the museum myself. These are all things that I personally saw in there. So this can be a really good, engaging sheet for the children to have. As they're walking through the museum, it can keep them on task and they can spot different items. The walking tour
So the walking tour for Cooper's Pond, we made a map. We tried to put in all the different places. There's a bridge that you cross over to get to the museum. They have the workout area. There's also the gazebo part where people can go fishing. But a little bit of history about Cooper's Pond. It used to be the chair factory. The pond was developed during the Great Depression. The chair factory had really great success, but then it kind of went down due to different factors, including the Civil War. Now the pond is a really great place where you can go and take walks. You can get a good workout in for free if you don't want to pay for Planet Fitness. You can see the ducks, you can go fishing, and then you can still go ice skating too if the pond freezes over, which seems a little unsafe to me, but apparently is safe and able to be done. So we have our commercial, I think, next for our walking tour and for the pond.
Spend the afternoon with me at Cooper's Pond. The scenic pond is located in Bergenfield, New Jersey, open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. This really is the perfect place to set up a picnic or go fishing. Surrounding the pond, there are various paths you can walk down. There are also many benches that you can sit and read a book. Another great amenity is the workout area. Be sure to visit at 115 West Church Street in Bergenfield.
So our next slide is the Demarest family and about the Demarest family and their history in Bergen County. Now when you hear Demarest, normally you think of Demarest Farms. So we actually supplied some cider and donuts for you guys to have during our presentation. We kind of like pass them around. You take one if you'd like, or have some cider, some napkins. The farm is actually not owned by the Demarest family anymore. It got sold in 2015 to people who worked at the farm for them. But the Demarest family was a big part of Bergen County. They came here from France. The father was David Demarest, so they went by Demarest. He came with his wife and his family. They first lived in Staten Island, but then they moved to New Jersey. They actually made a French bond and got the land from the native Indians who lived here. Most of the families that they wanted to have come didn't, so they ended up getting married into the Dutch families. The wife did pass away shortly after moving to New Jersey, so she had smallpox, but she's buried in the French burying grounds. Later on, the Demarest family ended up helping with paving the roads in Bergenfield and being one of the first librarians for Demarest. It was Dumont and Bergenfield because the population was under 1,000 people. So Alice Demarest ended up being the librarian for the town at that time. And that's it.
Next we have our South Presbyterian Church Historical Walk presented by Jason and Randall.
What makes people interested in the church? cemetery in Bergenfield, Jersey, established in 1723, is home to the grave of many notable individuals, including veterans from numerous wars, from the Revolutionary to the Vietnam War. Noteworthy include Reverend John Henry, who was the founder of Rutgers University. It offers a unique window into the history of Bergenfield with its connection to early American history, Revolutionary War, and local prominent families, along with its cultural significance as a symbol of the area's religious and community evolution. To share the rich history of all the historic families throughout Bergen County, we would have to advertise. We can consider advertising the historic walking tours through publishing articles, through local libraries and online platforms, with social media, local newspapers or magazines can also feature articles about these families' histories, establishing a dedicated website to highlight these families' legacies. And it would provide an easy access to the story, and more people know about it, and maybe they will be interested in it.
Okay, so yo voy a hacer la traducción de él en español. El presbiterio del sur de Bergenfield, Nueva Jersey, fue establecido en 1723. Es un lugar bien notable de gentes de la Guerra Mundial Primera y Segunda y veteranos de la Guerra de Vietnam. Aquí están muchas personas enteradas de los mismos fundadores de Queen College, que ahora es conocido como Rutgers University. Como mi compañero dijo, podemos hacer un sitio de redes web para que sepan todas las historias de las familias que fueron enteradas ahí y las personas notables de ese lugar. Podemos hacer muchos folletos que se pueden estar establecidos en lugares como cafés, bibliotecas, donde personas pueden coger y saber más de la historia de esta iglesia establecida en Bergenfield, Nueva Jersey. Gracias.
So here we have our historic cemetery walking tour advertisement.
Welcome to the South Presbyterian Church Cemetery, located in Bergenfield, New Jersey. This cemetery was established in 1723 and is home to the graves of many notable individuals. Veterans from the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and both World Wars can be found here. Another notable grave is the founder of Rutgers University. Famously, the Demers family plot can also be found here. This tour offers a unique window into the history of Bergenfield. We can truly see how far we've come with this connection to early American history. Visit at 150 Church Street in Bergenfield, New Jersey.
Now we have our Halloween cemetery fundraising walking tour. Tickets will be available for sale at the door as well as for pre-sale. The price for the tickets is determined by what the fundraising goal is. For this example, I put the goal at $5,000, so that would make the tickets $6 per person. Tours can be given every 20 to 30 minutes. Stops can feature notable graves, local town lore, and ghost stories. Costume contest could also be a really great way to entice visitors. It would give them a reason to come and dress up and make it more fun and interactive. Here I have a budget for a food stand if you guys wanted to do one. There's prices for cinnamon sugar donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, as well as hot chocolate and eggnog. So that total price comes to about $500. That also factors into the price of the ticket. Randall will be demonstrating the slide in Spanish.
De acuerdo a los requisitos de la licencia, no hay ningún tan estante de tarifas, solo le van a cobrar nada por los taxes. Ahora, en términos de la comida, hay que poner los precios a 2 o 3 veces más altos del precio del costo para garantizar un beneficio de ganancias. Hay que también fomenten la gratitud y la generosidad para que la gente de propina o redondee su compra. También hay que, en los precios, el chocolate caliente cuesta $200, la taza de chocolate está $189.90, los ponches de huevo cuestan $189.90 101,94 y el total de precio sería 491,84 centavos.
Alrighty, that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, can Vice President Matthew Caporuzio come to the front?
You're not in the shot.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew Caporuzio. I'm the Vice President of Team 3.
My name is Brandon Roberson. I'm the team lead of Team 3.
I'm Jay Ferrer.
I'm Isin Jalal.
And I'm Christine Nicole Gonzalez.
And we'll get right into it.
Morning, everyone. To start off our presentation, we have our logo. We also created a business card and incorporated the logo into the business card as well. The business card on the opposite side consists of both social media, contact information, the address, and we incorporated a little house in the logo to represent the Bergen Museum. And right above, we have a goose flying above the museum to represent the Cooper's Pond.
This is actually our social media integration. We actually wanted to definitely create an Instagram. This is an Instagram that I created for you that we can pass along to you, that you can have the option to use. These are actual views and followers that we achieve within the short time that we have. We posted a couple clips, but this is we actually have a TikTok for you as well. But we also want to suggest that you integrate Meta within, because you can actually post for Meta and it will actually go throughout the channels. You can post for Meta and it will go through Facebook, through Instagram, and you can actually integrate it to go through Twitter as well if you choose to create one of those as well. But like I said, this is the actual Instagram page that we have for you. And then we have QR codes. So if you want to be, it'll be easier for people to find you with the QR codes. You can actually incorporate that with Cash App or to receive payments as well. So you can have these QR codes around the museum itself, and then it'll be able to pull up the Instagram or the TikTok, or you can even have it pull up your Cash App so you can be able to receive payments at the museum.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I will be presenting the pamphlets and posters for the museum, and I will be presenting it in my native language, which is Filipino. Una sa lahat, gumawa kami ng isang pamphlet para mas advertise pa ang museo. Bale, sa harap, ang nilalaman nito ay yung pangalan ng museo, kung paano sila makokontak at ang tagline nila. At sa loob, kapag binuklat ang pamphlet, ay makikita ang kasaysayan ng Bergen Museum House at makikita ang mga exhibition floors at ang barn at stable. At bukod sa English, tinranslate din namin ang pamphlet into Spanish at also Filipino.
This is the marketing commercial we have for the museum. We did want to do something fast to really get the whole museum involved in this tour. It's a speed tour, which is very common on social media these days. We also use the voice of AI to make this one, which is also very commonly seen on TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media you're using.
Come with me on a tour of the Bergen Museum. Here we have a nice living room. This is the playroom, completely filled to the top with tons of unique antique toys. A few pictures of local wildlife, old property diagrams, some old home goods, a police uniform, this shelf with handmade blankets. This dining room has all handcrafted furniture from the neighboring building. More local artifacts that are very interesting. Back here we have a war room full of local history on World War II. Now for my favorite part of the entire tour. Walking through again back to the beginning. Into the foyer once again and out the door. Look at that amazing view.
So just something really quick. Wanted to get the whole museum involved and
At bukod sa pamphlets, gumawa din kami ng poster or flyers na maaaring ma-post ng museo sa kanilang social media. At para din mas ma-promote nila ito, maaari silang kausapin yung local businesses na malapit lang sa area nila at maaari silang makisuyo na ma-post itong mga posters at flyers para mas marami pang maimbitang tao sa pagpunta sa museo.
So I did a brief history about the Demers family. I'm doing my part in English and in Spanish. The translation is there on the right and you can follow up on the board. So the Demers family has a long history dating back to the late 1600s to the Second World War. The family patriarch, David Demers, was one of the European migrants to settle in the Hackensack Valley. The Demers surname comes from Cambrai, Normandy, and the history of the Tunis Art Cooper property is the history of Bergenfield. The original mill on the property was used as a chair factory built between 1841 and 1860. David Demers purchased the site of the chair factory and the site was under ownership of the family until 1758. David Demers is buried in the historic South Church as well as his father Jacobus Demers and his brother Peter Demers. Entonces ahora para hablar en español tengo la familia Demers que tiene una larga historia que se remonta a finales de 1600 hasta la Segunda Guerra Mundial. El patriarca de la familia David Demers fue uno de los inmigrantes europeos que se asentaron en el valle de Hackensack. El apellido Demers proviene de Cambrai, Normandia, y la historia de la propiedad Tunis Art Cooper es la historia de Bergenfield. El molino original de la propiedad se utilizó como fábrica de sillas construido entre 1841 y 1860. David Demers compró el sitio de la fábrica de sillas y estuvo bajo la propiedad de la familia Demers hasta 1758. Y David Demers está enterrado en la iglesia histórica del sur, como su padre Jacob Demers y su hermano Peter Demers. Gracias.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. The cemetery stands as a historical landmark tied to the founding of Bergen County. There are notable families buried here, such as the Demers, the Bogarts, Van Rippers, and others. This cemetery showcases early American burial traditions and funerary art. Pay attention to the symbolism of the gravestones. Weeping willows represent the mourning and remembrance. Cherubs represent the soul ascending to heaven, and the lambs represent the innocence and purity, which is usually common on the children's graves. This is important because it reflects the cultural and spiritual values of the time, and it is significant because it is the final resting place of Revolutionary War soldiers and other notable figures. Bergen County's role it also serves as Bergen County's role as a Revolutionary War crossroads, and the gravestones serve as a window into early American history and customs. And here's the commercial for the graveyard.
Welcome to the historic South Church Cemetery. Today we're stepping back in time to explore the lives of the families who shaped Bergen County's history. This cemetery is a treasure trove of stories, culture, and legacy, from the pioneering Demhurst family to other notable Bergen County families. These graves tell tales of faith, resilience, and community.
Bukod sa commercial, gumawa din kami ng isang simpleng poster o flyer para ma-promote ang historical graveyard tour sa ibang tao. Bale, ang nilalaman ng poster na ito ay malalaman ng mga tao kapag dumalo sila sa tour ay malalaman nila kung sino ba ang Demers at sino ba yung iba't ibang maimpluwensyang pamilya sa graveyard na ito, katulad ng mga Bogarts at Van Rippers, at makikita din nila kung ano yung mga simbolismo at yung mga sining sa mga lapida na makikita din.
So here's our Halloween fundraising event. We charge $10 per ticket, which is per person. Of course, all ages are allowed and are allowed to dress up for the Halloween event as well. We have paid actors to partake in the Halloween theme, $300 per actor for 3 hours. These guests will also get a tour of the graveyard and will be informed about the people buried there, including the Demers family and the history behind the graveyard. There will also be treats such as like zombie brownies, ghost donuts, very Halloween themed, ranges from like $1 to $3. And for activities, we have axe throwing, $150 for 2 hours minimum, and $110 every hour after.
This is the graveyard tour commercial.
Come and visit Cooper's Pond Park to reconnect with nature and know more about Bergenfield's past. In Cooper's Pond Park, there are many different activities to do. You can unwind and be one with nature by walking around the pond or going fishing with the entire family. If you want to do something more active, jogging around Cooper's Pond Park or even using their mini gym set will surely make you sweat. If you want to embrace and learn more about Bergenfield's past, you can stroll around the park to see mill, barn, and stable to learn more about the park's industrial past. You can also visit the Bergenfield Museum to be taken back in time. A bit of history about Cooper's Pond Park. It was created in the Works Process Administration during the Great Depression in 1938 due to the pond severely shrinking because of the slit from the mill. To restore the pond, the WPA then decided to create a park, turning the once industrial heavy pond into a park that embraces nature. So come by Cooper's Pond Park where you can have a breath of fresh air and take all the history of Bergenfield in.
At bukod ulit sa commercial, ay gumawa din kami ng isang poster o flyer para sa Cooper's Pond para na-promote yung walking tour doon. Bale, ang nilalaman ng poster nito ay ang onting kasaysayan about sa Cooper's Pond Park. Ang sinasabi dito ay ginawa ito noong ng Works Progress Administration noong panahon ng Great Depression noong 1938. At ngayon ito na ay isang magandang park at ang magagawa mo dito ay maaari kang pumunta sa gym o kung gusto mo naman maaari kang mag-jogging. At kung ayaw mo naman na mag-workout, maaari kang bumisita sa Bergenfield Museum o maaari mong tignan yung old mill, barn at stable. At kung ayaw mo naman gawin ang mga ito, maaari ka ding mag-fishing.
And then these are just the children's tours. Again, we wanted to keep them very simple for the children and entertaining for them as well.
Hey there, young explorers! Did you know your very own town has a story to tell? Let's go discover it together. From exciting adventures in history to fun hands-on exhibits, the Bergenfield Museum is full of surprises. Did you know your town used to look different? Come see how it grew and meet the people who made it special. You can touch, play, and learn cool stuff you can explore with your hands. From wild animals to amazing nature, there's always something new to discover. So are you ready to explore your town's secret treasures? The adventure starts at the Bergenfield Museum. Come visit today. Your adventure is waiting.
Para mas ma-promote naman ang children's tour o yung scavenger hunt, ay gumawa kami ng pamphlet para mas ma-entice yung mga bata na sumali dito. Bale, ang nilalaman lang nito ay yung mismong title na Bergenfield Museum's Children's Tour. Tapos dito ay pinapaalam namin sa kanila kung ano ba yung maaari nilang gawin dito sa tour. Maaari nilang hawakan yung mga lumang tools, maaari silang makipaglaro sa mga lumang laruan, at maaari din silang matuto ng kasaysayan. At tinranslate din namin ang pamphlet na ito into Spanish at also sa Filipino.
And that's our presentation.